Do you remember that dialogue from Amitabh Bachchan's movie?
You see, sir, I can talk English, I can walk English, I can laugh English because English is a very funny language.
Well, that was meant for comedy, but actually they spelled truth. English is indeed the weirdest language. So, what makes it weird? The first thing is it's an international language. But every country has its own different accent for English. And that's why every country has its own version of English, like American English, British English, and Indian English, and so many English. And think about it, English is one language, but still every country has its own version of it. Isn't it is enough to make it weird? Because see, Chinese has only one version, Hindi has only one version. We don't pronounce it differently, right? But English is the only one language we pronounce it. Every country has different pronunciation. So this doesn't happen with most of other languages. It never happened with most of other languages. And the second thing is some homophones like to, and to. They pronounce the same but have different meaning. And this is kind of a really frustrating thing about English. Just like there, and there. Have you found any difference between all of these words? And English is full of these kind of homophones, and they are enormous in numbers. And here are some more examples, like see, no difference, but different meaning. Another one is no and no, here and here, fair and fair, for, night, and the last one is peace. So they all are sound so similar, like they're homophones. It's called homophones, and so many more. And this video would be too short to cover all of them. And just imagine someone learning English from scratch and they don't know even the basics. How exhausting it would be for them. But since it's I have to talk very loud because the noise outside is disturbing me a lot to record this video. So just recording this video a little bit on high pitch. But since it's a worldwide language, we have all become familiar with these small but major fact about English. And now let's talk about homograph. These words are that look the same, sound the same, but have different meaning, and depending on how they are used in a sentence. For example, I will lead the team versus this pipe is made of lead. Both sound similar, look similar, but have different meaning in different situations. Here's another one. She is close to me versus please close the door. And that's completely would be frustrating for someone who just not familiar with the English language. And here's another one. Don't stop. It's not ended here. Please, let's see another one. He will present the award versus he gave me a present. Who invented this language? I just want to find this person first. And homographs make English really confusing because their meaning completely changes with the context and pronunciation. And yeah, I struggle a lot with homographs because they have different meaning. Whenever I search about a meaning, ChatGPT or Google search thousands of sentences, and this word's meaning depend on the context, and that's really frustrating for me. And sometimes even the stress which syllable you emphasize can change the meaning. For example, record is a noun. I broke the record. And in another one, a record is a verb. Please record the video. So see how the pronunciation changes. And this is one of the most brain twisting part of English, because no one tells you these rules directly. You simply learn them by listening, observing, and practicing. So that's why I say that listen and watch movies and a lot of stuff that I've told you before in my previous videos. So moving on to the next is irregular spelling and, did I pronounce it incorrectly? Let's see. Irregular spelling and pronunciation. Now let's be honest. English spelling is a nightmare. I struggle a lot. I can speak English fluently, almost, but if someone would test my spelling, they'll laugh at me because I'm really, really poor. My English spelling is so poor. And since there is social media and we use a mobile phone a lot, and this is the reason it's getting more worse, because the autocorrection. We don't need to think about spelling by ourselves. So this is also something like not so helpful about. And it's one of those languages where what you read is not what you hear. Let's look at a few examples. Colonel is pronounced as kernel. Wednesday pronounced as like Wednesday. And Iceland doesn't pronounce the S at all. It's island. In depth has silent B. Psychology starts with P, but you never say it. So why? Because English spelling is built from many old languages like Latin, Greek, that's embarrassing, French, and even German. Every time it's borrowed a word, it borrowed a spelling too, but it kept its own pronunciation. So there is no single rule to follow. And the words like though, through, thought, and tough all look similar but sound totally different. And this is why new learners often say English doesn't make sense, because truly sometimes it doesn't. Now here's another reason English feels strange. It's not purely English. It's a mixture of hundreds of languages. Over countries, English has borrowed words from almost everywhere. From French, we got words like ballet, restaurant, banquet, resume. From Latin, we have got agenda, video, data. And from Greek, we got philosophy, democracy, and biology. And from Indian language, we have got Bangalore, shampoo, pajamas, jungle, and guru, yoga, and lute. So technically, English is just like a global buffet of words, and it took a little from everywhere. And that's why its spelling, sound, and meaning are often different. But that's also what makes it rich and expressive, because every borrowed word adds a bit of culture and history to the language. Now, one of my favorite reasons, idioms and expression. And they make English colorful but also incredibly confusing if you take them literally. And for example, I have some very funny and weirdest life experience about idioms and phrases. But let's skip that part. Let's come to the point, because I'm running out of time. So I have to cover up all this in so short time. So for example, break a leg doesn't mean you should actually break your leg. It means good luck. Spill the beans. It means to reveal the secret. Not under the weather. It's not something like you're sitting under the weather, a cloudy weather. It's literally, if you take it literally, it feels like that. But it actually means feeling sick. Piece of cake. Not it's not something about that you can eat. It means something very easy. And hit the sack means go to bed. Idiom and expression always convey different meaning in every language. So English is not the only language. So if you try to understand them word by word, they sound absolutely crazy. But idioms are a huge part of how native speakers communicate. They give you a flavor, humor, personality to their speech. And that's why if you want to sound more natural in English, learning idiom is a must. But you also need to know when and where to use them because not all idiom fits in every situation. So yes, English might be the weirdest language, full of exception, borrowed rules, silent letter, and funny expressions. But at the same time, it's what makes it beautifully human. Because like us, it's imperfect, ever-changing, and full of surprises. So that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Till then, take care. I'll see you in the next one.